we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca, the invisible war inside your head. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, holding a weapon and deliberately striking yourself over and over again, all while screaming at the world for hurting you. Absurd, isn't it? Yet this is precisely what you do every single day. You wake up, read a mildly passive-aggressive email, and your entire morning is ruined. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you spend the next 2 hours replaying the incident, letting your blood boil, as if a physical injury has been inflicted upon you. A plan falls through, a text message goes unanswered, or a minor inconvenience disrupts your schedule, and suddenly your chest tightens, your mood plummets, and your peace of mind evaporates. Ask yourself an honest question. Why do you hand over the keys to your emotional well-being to every random external event? Most people believe that the world is happening to them. They think that external circumstances, other people's rudeness, economic uncertainty, unexpected setbacks, or bad weather are the direct causes of their suffering. But the ancient Stoics discovered a profound and liberating truth that completely shatters this illusion. External events do not upset you. Your judgment about those events is what upsets you. If you are tired of being an emotional hostage to your own thoughts, if you are exhausted by the constant cycle of overthinking, frustration, and anxiety, then stay with me for the next few minutes. What you are about to discover isn't feel-good motivational fluff. It is a razor-sharp, battle-tested psychological operating system forged by emperors and slaves alike. A framework designed to make you completely unshakable. The core illusion, the surgeon's line. Picture Epictetus, a man whose leg was shattered by a brutal master, living most of his life in chains as a slave. Under Roman law, his owner had the legal right to torture him, starve him, or execute him on a whim. Yet, while sitting in squalor, he possessed a mental freedom that terrified the Roman elite. His secret was a brutal division of reality into two boxes: what is entirely up to you and what is not. Most people spend 100% of their emotional currency fighting the second box, screaming at the rain, cursing at the economy, and losing sleep over what a colleague thinks of them. Think about a surgeon in an emergency room. A patient arrives with a catastrophic injury. The surgeon does not stand over the operating table weeping, shouting at the universe, "Why did this happen? It's not fair. If the surgeon does that, the patient dies." Instead, the surgeon instantly draws a hard line. The severity of the injury is outside their control. How they move their hands during the next 2 hours is entirely within their control. When you feel upset, you have crossed that line. You are trying to command the storm instead of steering your own ship. The Stoic diagnostic, the pause that breaks the chain. Why do we fall into this trap so easily? Because of speed. The distance between an external trigger and your emotional reaction is instantaneous. Someone says something critical, and boom, anger flares up. Your phone buzzes with bad news, and boom, anxiety takes over. To stop upsetting yourself, you must drive a wedge into this microsecond gap. You must master the art of the pause. Viktor Frankl, a prisoner in Auschwitz, lived this reality at its most extreme. Stripped of his family, his profession, his clothes, and his hair, standing naked in the freezing mud, he realized something terrifying. His captors could control his physical body completely, but they could not control his final freedom, how he chose to interpret his suffering. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. When an unsettling event occurs, execute the Stoic step back. First, separate the event from the narrative. A colleague walks past your desk without saying hello. That is the raw, unadorned fact. Your brain immediately adds the narrative. They hate me. They are plotting against me. Strip away the narrative. Only the fact exists. Second, apply the filter. Ask yourself, can I change this right now through my own direct action? Third, act or let go. If the answer is yes, execute with calm precision. If the answer is no,
instantly release it as irrelevant data that does not deserve a single drop of your psychological energy.
The forge of discomfort. True mental fortitude is forged in the furnace of daily friction, not in abstract philosophy. Consider Seneca walking through the opulent streets of Rome, draped in rough, tattered rags. He carried no money, ate stale bread, and slept on a thin mat spread across the stone floor. To the average onlooker, he looked like a beggar who had lost everything. But Seneca was conducting a simple experiment. He would look down at his coarse clothes and whisper to himself, "Is this the condition that I feared?" Seneca understood a fundamental human flaw. Our minds naturally inflate minor inconveniences into catastrophic disasters because we live in perpetual fear of discomfort. When you insulate yourself from every minor friction, complaining the moment the room gets too warm, panicking when your internet drops for 5 minutes, or stressing over a delayed flight, you train your nervous system to treat trivialities as existential threats. By deliberately plunging yourself into minor controlled discomforts, such as stepping into freezing water or fasting for a day, you teach your biology a vital lesson. I am uncomfortable, but I am not destroyed. Once your mind learns this hard truth through direct experience, external chaos loses its power to terrify you. The ultimate shift, from victim to observer. Imagine a sea captain standing on the deck of his ship as a violent gale shatters the mast and tears the sails. A novice crew member panics, screaming in terror that the storm is trying to destroy them, cursing the wind and throwing cargo overboard. The captain does not curse the wind. He grips the wheel, feels the violent sway of the deck, and mutters quietly, "All right, let's handle the rigging." The difference between the panicked crew member and the captain is perspective. The crew member views life through the lens of a victim, demanding that reality conform to their comfort. The captain views life through the lens of an observer and an actor, recognizing that the storm is simply raw weather, indifferent to human desires. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, teetering on the edge of total collapse. A devastating plague wiped out millions of his subjects. The imperial treasury was bankrupt. His most trusted general launched a bloody civil war against him, and he buried several of his own children. If anyone had a legitimate excuse to view themselves as a cosmic victim and let external events crush his spirit, it was him. Yet in his private journal, he treated every single catastrophe not as an unfair curse, but as raw material for virtue. Whenever something goes wrong in your life today, apply the obstacle pivot. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "How can I use this specific event to practice patience, resilience, or wisdom?" If a rude person insults you, they have just handed you a free training dummy to practice self-restraint. Nothing is wasted unless you choose to view it as a tragedy. The final threshold. Let us return to where we started. You are standing before the mirror of your own mind. Every time you allow an external trigger to hijack your emotions, you are inflicting a wound upon yourself that no enemy could ever hope to match. The Stoics did not achieve unshakable peace because their lives were easy. Their lives were often brutal, unpredictable, and short. They achieved peace because they realized a singular, immutable truth. The citadel of your mind cannot be breached unless you open the gates yourself. Before you close this video, look at the very next inconvenience that crosses your path today. The delayed notification, the sharp word, the unexpected setback. Ask yourself one final, uncomfortably honest question. If not now, when will you finally stop letting the world dictate your inner peace? Step back into your citadel, lock the gates, and realize that true power doesn't come from controlling everything around you. It comes from mastering the only thing that ever truly mattered, you.